Hello, magical human. Welcome back to Madison Mindset the Podcast. In today's episode, we are going to dive into a little bit about what to do when life is not making it easy, when things keep happening and you're like, why is this happening? This makes everything so much harder. Things happen. We know that. So it's time to really address what to do in those situations and to find a way to work through them. Before we jump into the episode, I wanted to read another DM that I got on Instagram from a lovely, lovely listener of the podcast and chat a bit about that. Hello, magical human, and welcome to Madison Mindset the Podcast. My name is Madison. I'm a yoga teacher, a mindset and spirituality coach, and a complete earth fairy. I see a world that is peaceful and easy to live in. Humans that are awakened and enlightened towards who they are and what life truly is and why we are here. I understand life can be really hard. I've had a huge journey with anxiety myself. I understand what it's like to feel overwhelmed, overworked, stressed, and frustrated within this earth. It is this journey that led me to begin my own growth journey. And it's only through those struggles that I was able to birth this podcast so that you can have the tools and techniques and knowledge to help you step forward and be a being of light. A magical, earthly being who is grounded, supported, who takes on challenges with love and embraces the lessons that each day brings. You are that being. I am here to walk you there. You will find many different kinds of episodes through this podcast. All are created in the moment and with love for you. Find the one you need for this moment and enjoy. Take a moment for yourself. Sit down with your journal and tune in. Welcome. Let's begin. So she said, "Hi Madison, I just found your podcast and listened to the episode on speaking up. Is there also one on how to tend to ourselves when we can't speak up at work? How can we tend to a blocked throat chakra when you can't share your thinking or your opinion isn't valued?" Super interesting question here. Okay, so what to do when your opinion isn't valued? Okay, here's the thing. If you're at work and it's some kind of situation where, maybe you're on the lower quote, I hate this because it's, you know, I don't I don't love the idea of valuing some human beings higher than others. I think we all have an important place. And when are in a situation where there's this hierarchy, it's not nice. It's always good to have a leader. People have always had leaders and ancestors and etc. But everyone is still valued equally, of equal importance. You might have, the hunters, the gatherers, the elders, the leaders of the tribe. You have kind of everyone who supports. So even in a work environment, it's like, well, it would be nice if everyone was valued because everyone's there to do something and you need something to be done and there's people there to do it. So I think everyone should be valued equally, although it's not always like that in our modern world that probably needs dramatic improvement. So if you feel like you're in a place where you're looking to heal throat chakra, but you're in a work environment that doesn't value your opinion, or you feel like you can't express your opinion, I would say, as always, we need to go inward first. Okay. So don't try not to think things such as my opinion isn't valued, because that as an affirmation is very impactful. My opinion isn't valued. If you voice that enough in your head, even as a thought, it's going to start to seep into other areas of your life, and suddenly no one cares about your opinion, you know, and it would be coming from you. So it's really important to understand that your opinion does hold value, especially if you have, I don't know what it is, maybe you have an idea at work or something that you don't like the way it's functioning, you want to share that. I think it's worth doing it. I really do. I think it's worth doing it anyway. Even if you think no one's going to listen to you, who cares? Just voice the opinion, voice your concern, voice your thoughts. You don't know. You don't know. You never know what people might think. And, you know, in most of these places, people have to listen to you. If you have a concern or you don't like something, or you've got to share what you feel and talk about what you feel like you need or what you feel like might be a good idea. So I think it wouldn't be a bad idea to actually voice the opinion, even just to practice believing in yourself and understanding that your opinion is valued, because your opinion does hold value. You're allowed to express your thoughts and your opinion, and make sure we're doing it in a selfless way. You may voice an opinion and no one may agree with you, and that's completely fine. Understand their point of view and see if you can settle on something. A lot of the times, like, our point of view is just from our perspective, and there are so many different perspectives to take in this world. Like, there are so many angles, there are so many lights, so many shades. It's hard to get everyone looking at something in the same way. So voicing your opinion and hearing the opinions of others is actually a really healthy thing to do, as long as you're not pushing that your angle's the best. You may not know that. Okay, just voice what you need, what you think, hear others, and see if you can come to some kind of middle ground or some place that feels settled, it feels right for you. So, yeah, one, your opinion is valued. It is, otherwise, that affirmation will seep into your life. Voice the opinion at work. Why not? Give it a go. And also ask yourself if you're happy in that kind of work environment as well. Like, for me, it's definitely not my place, to be in that kind of situation. If you enjoy it, that's fantastic. Do what you need to do. But if it's putting these kind of affirmations in your head or fears in your head, it might just be something to be aware of and go, am I actually happy here? Just to make sure that you're spending your life doing what you want to do as best you can. I understand we've got to pay the bills. I get that. But it's still important to think about, okay, what do I need in my life? What do I want in my life? And to make sure that you're showing up for that. Really important. What else? Anything we can do to tend to ourselves? Well, okay. Let's say you're in a position where maybe you have shared your opinion, or you absolutely cannot share your opinion for a serious reason, you know, um, then things you can do, speak your opinion to the mirror, or even just speak it out loud in general. Like, I am constantly talking out loud to myself, and it really helps. It's giving me time to voice what I'm thinking, even if it's just to the air. That's fine. That's why, talking to trees, I love talking to trees. Even I talk to my van all the time, like she has a consciousness, really practicing expressing what I feel and what I want, because you have to practice doing that. You could try writing it down. That can really help. And then making sure you're affirming affirmations like, my opinion is valued. My opinion is valued. My voice has meaning. My voice has impact. Making sure that you're keeping all those channels open. Okay, so just be mindful. The wording on this message is what I would be looking at inwardly. Okay, so making sure you understand that maybe you're in an environment, a work environment, where they're very, focused on, we're up here and you're down there. They may be focused on that, but understand that's not the correct way to be living. It's not reality. It's something that's been created. by society, but it is not in any way real. Every human being is equally valued. So you may be working in an unbalanced situation, which means you may need to do some work on balancing your body, etc. And then also seeing if you want to be in that environment anyway. But thank you so much for your beautiful message. I'm glad you're enjoying the podcast. And yeah, hopefully that all goes well. We don't, no one wants to be in these situations. But yeah, ideally, cleansing our life as best we can of these toxic situations so that we can live life in a happier, more peaceful way. So if that's possible, that would definitely be ideal. Okay, jumping into today's topic, what to do when life throws you things that are just so inconvenient that you didn't want, you know? All these things happen. Okay, things happen constantly. Like I've had a week of things like that. You plan your week at the start of the week. You're like, right, I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do that, then I'm going to do it like this. And then you actually get there and life kind of messes with your diary a little bit. And it's like, I'm going to throw this in and a bit of this and a bit of this will break and this will go wrong and this will do this. So as you're going throughout your day, you get all these, what shall we call it, influences via life or disturbances via life or higher power, just things that happen because that's what happens in life. No one plans, their week out in their diary and has that completely go to plan. Things pop up, whether that's, personal, professional, health wise, whatever it is, things pop up, more challenges pop up. You have to cancel some things, move some things around. This happens. It's very normal. But it doesn't stop the stress and the frustration when it comes up. People get very upset that something like this has happened. This week I had it happen the whole week. I had something fall off the back of the van. That was fun. Then I had a drawer break at the mechanic. And then I accidentally ripped a hole in my pants with that broken drawer because I sat down, which I shouldn't have done, but I did. And yeah, it's just what happens. This stuff happens, it happens all the time, and then I've got a massive hole in my pants at work. And I'm like, what am I going to do? Why don't I keep a spare pair of pants in the van? It's literally a house van. And yeah, I don't have any spare clothes. So I had to teach classes with a rip hole in my pants. All this stuff, it just happens. And then you've got injuries and then you've got people, you go through stuff, and then you've got money things come up and you're like, man, I was supposed to not spend any money this week and now I've got to do this. All of this stuff, it continues to happen. Try not to assume that you're going to plan your day or your week and then it's just going to end that smoothly because it probably won't. Sometimes it does. Sometimes you have really smooth days. I would say probably like on average, without any maths or real calculations, I would say about 2 out of 7 days of my week go as I planned. And that's on average. That's a general. Nothing really goes according to plan. Seriously. You have holidays planned out that don't go according to plan. You have financial stuff lined up. You don't have it doesn't go according to plan. You have business stuff. You have this stuff. You never know what's going to happen. If I reflect back, 10 years ago, I was 17 and I was getting towards the end of high school and I had all these plans. I was going to be married by the time I was 24. I was going to start having kids by the time I was 27. That's now, right? 26, 27, I was going to start having kids. I was going to have a house and I was going to be teaching primary, school age kids. And I would have gone through uni already and I would have traveled and been an au pair in Europe. This was my plan. None of that happened. That was my plan. Okay. So you set out in life like, this is my plan. And then you start taking steps forward and it unravels. And some things work out, but things unravel. And you know what I've found over the time? There's 2 big lessons here that I want to share with you. Number 1 is that when you are creating your life and you're going, okay, I want to do this, I want to get this degree, I want to have this business, I want to do this. When you have that plan, you have to understand that that plan is coming from the person that you are in that moment, right? You are in the driver's seat, 100%, but you also have life in the car with you. This consciousness, this reason that you're even here. You didn't choose to be here on this planet, right? No one consciously asked, I'd like to be born now. Some people would say that your soul did. Perhaps it did, perhaps not. I don't know. But I know for a fact that I don't remember a conversation where I was like, yeah, I'll do that. I'll go into that life, right? So the part of this amazing world that brought you here, that has the purpose that you're here, that has you here for a reason, they're also in the car with you. And they're going to review your plan and your map that you've laid out for your life or your day or your week. And it's going to go, that we can keep. This is going to go this way. And we're going to get rid of that altogether. And it's literally going to jumble things up for you. And at the time, it's really frustrating. And you're like, why is this happening? But in time, you realize why that's happening. In time, you realize that what you wanted for yourself then wasn't exactly what you needed, or it wasn't your purpose, so it didn't work out. For example, if I married the person I was dating at 24, I wouldn't have been happy. I know that for a fact. I wouldn't have been happy. If I was having kids right now with someone I wasn't aligned to be with, just because it had to happen due to my plan. If I was teaching kids in primary school, I'd be miserable. I know that. I know that now. And I didn't know that then. So what I'm doing now is definitely what I want to be doing. But if life hadn't intervened and said, hey, Maddie, let's go this way. And yeah, it's frustrating. It's always frustrating. At the time, I was like, why is this not working? But you steer the car in the direction that life said. You take the exit, you go onto a new highway, new path. And as you look back, you go, oh, thank God. Thank God that happened. And I couldn't have planned that. When I look at the last 10 years of me, being out of high school and living as an adult and creating a life, if I look back, there's no way I could have planned this out with my own awareness. There is no way I could have aligned so many stars and could have reorganized so much and made so many things fall into place. I did parts of it, but I'm a co-creator with life, as are you. You are a co-creator, as in you have some input, you have some ideas, you have some dreams, but even I would say if you're dreaming of it, did life give you that dream? I don't know, it's if you're dreaming of it, maybe it's meant for you. In a lot of cases it is. So you've got to allow life to help you with your path and your choosing. And when you do that, you get what you need. And you do get the power of hindsight one day, and you look back and go, thank God, thank the universe, thank Goddess that this went the way it went, because this is way better than what I could have planned. So many of us have these little moments in our life where we go, thank God this happened, so you have to allow that. You have to allow life to do it. It has your best interest at heart. You have to trust that with everything that you are. Trust that life has your best interest at heart, even when it's hard. Trust that if it's for you, it will not pass you. Trust if you're being redirected or different doors are opening and doors you wanted are closing, that's a sign that you're not meant to go that way. And trust. Very hard to do in the moment. Very hard to do in the moment. But we have no choice. So try and find peace with that and allow doors to open, doors to close, and let yourself be guided and directed. Just let yourself move. This is what they mean when they say go with the flow. Just go with what's happening and do the best you can. May not be perfect, but you do the best you can. The second lesson I've learned is that minor inconveniences, like the ones I spoke about, random financial things or, getting into issues like, your car breaking down or, whatever it is, just these little things that happen and you're like, why? Just these little inconveniences that can be so frustrating and can absorb so much of your day and weeks, sometimes more than others, right? These happen as lessons. They are equally as important as your to-do list and your schedule for the day. They are equally as important because they teach you how to receive challenge and meet it and rise to the challenge and to overcome problems and to establish boundaries and to really handle situations that are thrown at you. It makes you stronger, physically, mentally, and emotionally stronger. It can also make you spiritually stronger. So you are literally using everyday moments in life to go, oh, fine, I'm going to grow in this way. And how you rise to meet life is your choice. I believe that life challenges you in this way, watches everyone get annoyed. You see most people, they get these minor inconveniences and they complain, oh, it's raining and I put the washing on the line, or oh, like I have to go and make dinner, and oh, like my car, like someone hit my car, and everyone complaining about this stuff. I really believe that life is there waiting for you to go, oh, someone hit my car. Okay, it's just a car. It's fine. Get it fixed or not, whatever. At least no one was hurt. It's waiting for you to find the perspective of joy and of peace anyway. And I can definitely say that the challenges in my life have been the things that have taught me to stop worrying so much about all these things and to dance in the rain. So when, this morning, when my pants ripped and I saw that, the van had been broken by the mechanic. He's a fantastic mechanic, by the way. It's just one of those things that happen. Yeah, we have basically these drawers in the van that my amazing partner made. They are beautiful, but the drawer runners that I bought are one of those push open ones. And we didn't realize that, when you're in the van and you put the brake on, sometimes that acts as a push to open. So the drawers will randomly fly open, right? And we knew we needed to fix it, but it wasn't, at the top of the list. But when I took the van to the mechanic and he had to test it, for registration, obviously they do the brake test and they slam on the brakes, and obviously the drawers come out and just flown out, which is super annoying, frustrating, because that drawer was done and it was perfect and it was beautiful. It didn't need to happen, but it happened. And then I sat down on one of the drawer runners accidentally and ripped an entire hole and ladder in my pants, in my indigo lunar beautiful, expensive pants. So, these things happen. And when it happened, I went and looked in the mirror and I saw it and I just laughed because I really do think that life has the best sense of humor. She knew that I couldn't go home. She knew I didn't have any other pants. She knew I'd have to teach like that. It is the perfect opportunity to laugh, and to just be like, this is so funny. I honestly look at life and I just like, you are so sassy. Like, this is hilarious, So it's making light of the situation and learning from it. What I've learned is to absorb my surroundings before I sit down, or if you notice a problem come up, such as the drawers are opening on the brake, get it fixed sooner. Like I could have fixed it. I literally had things on the floor of the van, those little baby lock things that hook things. I could have put it on. I could have. It was sitting there for days. I never did. It's a lesson. It is a lesson, And what's the funniest thing ever is when everyone was coming into class, heaps of people showed up. Heaps. It's one of those classes you're not really sure it would be like a few people or heaps of people. Heaps of people showed up. Of course they did. I had a hole in my pants. It's life. Life is going to do that stuff. It's going to do it. And I could have received all of that and made me like I could have crumpled and cried and been so scared and been self-conscious or this or that. But I just used it as an opportunity to laugh and to smile. And I showed everyone and they just laughed with me. Like it's so funny, that happened, And then at the end, one of the girls was like, I can fix those. And I was like, oh, amazing. I thought I'd have to throw them out. So she's got my pants right now and she's out there fixing them. How nice. When you share your burdens, people can help. When you share, like, oh, this happened, this is so annoying, someone else can sometimes, more often than not, will go, I can help with that. Whereas when you let it pile up on your shoulders and like, oh, life's attacking me, life isn't fair to me, all these things go wrong in my life, it's not fair, it's not fair. When you do that, you just sit down and you just give up. Because why wouldn't you? That's miserable. But if you trust that life is re-guiding me, directing me to the right path, and I'm just here going for the ride, doing the best I can with each moment, And any minor difficulty like that, like the ones I'm explaining, in whatever shape or size they come in, they're a moment to teach you. What will you do in those moments? Will you sit down and cry about it, or will you stand up and face it? And you can do both. You can sit down and cry for a second, but then you got to get back up and smile and move on and do what needs to be done, trusting in yourself, you know? So I hope from this episode you see that you're not alone when these things happen. Okay, no one is out there experiencing a blissful, easy, breezy path of life. No one is out there doing that. Even if they pretend that they are, they're not. Everyone has these day-to-day moments. How many people must have kicked their toe or their shin on a piece of furniture in the house? How many people ran out of an ingredient when they were trying to cook food today? You know, how many people realized there was no petrol in the car? You know, how many people had things break? How many people had that happen today alone? If we could track everyone in the world and ask, I bet you it would be so many. You are nowhere near alone in this stuff. What we need to learn to do is to see the challenges that life offers and to take it with grace. Go, this is for me. It's not happening to me, it's happening for me. You know, I could have easily with these pants gotten so self-conscious. Like I had bright red pants on and white undies underneath it. Wasn't even skin color undies, right? As soon as there was a hole in them, there was two massive white dots. I wasn't getting out of that. It happens, you know? And I could have been really like, oh, no one looking like, and, you know, and feel like everyone's laughing at me. But I showed them in a way that was like, it was laughter. It was like, you'll never believe what I did today. Have a look. And everyone's just like, oh, like you could tell they've been there before. Who hasn't ripped their pants before? It happens. It happens. It's all right. You know, so we have to learn how to not take life so seriously. Otherwise, you'll be miserable. You just will be. You've got to take it all with a pinch of salt, as the saying goes. Do the best you can with what you got. And if life messes with your diary or your schedule or your life plans, that's completely normal. And she does it regularly. I will often leave space in my diary now. I don't chock-a-block full my diary. I used to, like bang, 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 do this, do this, do this, at this time, at this time, at this time. I don't do that anymore. I just write 3 things that I'd like to get done that day. Here's my self-care for the day, and then I leave it blank. Because I know that life has to have her input. And if I chock-a-block full the diary, it tends to be a worse day for me, you know? Whereas if I leave some space, life can do her thing and I can still get my stuff done. But sometimes not. You know, you have to trust life. Thank you so much for being here, Magical Human. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Please share it with someone you know and love. You share it on your Instagram stories and tag me. I would love that. I'd love to share it. I'd love to chat to you. If you have any questions or anything that you want to send me, please send me a DM on Instagram. As you've seen, I've started reading some of them out to help you because I'm sure there are other people out there with the same or similar questions. If you can also please leave a rating or a review on the platform that you listen to this podcast through. It really helps me reach new people, to expand and to grow. And I appreciate that every moment. Thank you, Magical Human. Have a wonderful rest of your day.